Step 3. Pose for Step 3. Modified lying pose with props. To come into the pose, place your mat so that you have plenty of room around you. Set a thick book or a yoga block at one end of the mat. Place one end of your bolster on top of the book with about 6 inches of it hanging over the top. If you have a dense bolster without much give, you'll want to place a towel or a blanket across the raised top of the bolster as a pillow for the back of your head. Sit with your hips a few inches from the base of the bolster and lie back, placing your head on the raised end. You will be lying essentially on a ramp, and your torso will be raised with your head perhaps a foot from the floor. Extend your legs on the ground. If this is not comfortable for you, bend your knees with the soles of your feet on the floor, or flop the knees out into butterfly pose with the soles of your feet together. Turn the arms palms up out to the side in a T position. Your outstretched arms will be hanging open with your upper arm off the ground and your hand and or forearm on the ground. Notice how your shoulders feel. Would you benefit from a towel or a blanket under the elbows or the forearms? If your shoulders are uncomfortable, move your arms from the T position down closer to your hips. You could even put a folded towel underneath each arm to reduce the angle from the shoulder to the ground, bringing the ground up to you. Get what you need to be comfortable, and then rest here for 7 to 10 minutes. It takes some time to turn yourself over to the care of another, even in a pose. Give yourself time and notice how you feel at the level of all 5 koshas. This modified lying pose supports the back and opens the heart. You are supported by or put in the care of the props. To becoming willing to be cared for, allow yourself to use as many props as you need today and find comfort in the pose. Permit yourself the privilege of testing the waters to see what works. You may think you don't need towels for your arms, but when you get into the pose and stay here for a while, your shoulders may ache, and you'll remember that you could have cared for yourself a little better by allowing the props to support you. It happens to us all. Use more than you need, and then move them away if you like. Take a moment now to make yourself comfortable again. To get out of the pose, take it slow. If your knees are not bent with the feet flat on the ground, please move to that position. Raise your arms up, reaching the hands toward the ceiling or sky. And bend your elbows, drawing the arms in and rolling to one side as you push yourself up to a seated position. Sit here for a few moments. Check again with all 5 koshas. In your notebook or on paper, write down your experience of the pose as well as a few sentences about how you feel at each of the 5 levels of your being: the physical, energetic, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual layers.